What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with TechDaily. So this is the brand new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7. And out of everything that was announced today, the Fold, the new watches, this is definitely my favorite. I'm a Flip fan. I like the form factor of the Flip, I like the idea of the Flip, and for the Flip 7, Samsung has obviously made one huge change to the outer display that not only makes this phone look super cool, but ensures that that outer screen is as functional and as valuable as possible. Samsung is calling it the FlexWindow, and I'll give you all the dirty details about it and everything else that's new with this phone in a moment. But first things first, let's get the prices and colors out of the way. The new Z Flip 7 starts at $1,099 for the 256GB model. There's a 512GB option as well if you need more space, and there's 3 standard colors to choose from that are actual colors, which is awesome: coral red, blue shadow, and jet black. There's also a Samsung.com exclusive color, mint, which I gotta say I do like the best. It's a real nice shade, and you can get a Mint Z Fold too if you want. The general size and form factor of this new Flip 7 remain pretty much the same, but Samsung refined it a little bit to give you more screen real estate all around. It's a little larger than 4.1 inches corner to corner folded up, and its full-size flipped-out screen is 6.85 inches. It's bigger than the S25 Plus and almost as wide as the S25 Plus now too, and this is exactly the reason why I like the Z Flip. You get a full-size phone or bigger that can fit comfortably in your pocket. Samsung also upped the durability and build quality here too. It's thinner and lighter somehow. The back glass is Gorilla Glass Victus 2, and the new Armor Flex hinge is thinner as well, but restructured and made from higher strength materials that are built to last through thousands and thousands of flips and bends. The outer frame of the phone is that armor aluminum that Samsung mentioned a few times too, so top tier and improved build quality all around. The obvious standout feature on this new Flip 7, of course, is that gigantic outer display, so let's talk about it. This is what Samsung is calling the FlexWindow. It's a 4.1-inch Super AMOLED edge-to-edge outer display that honestly has better specs than some single-screen phones. It's a 120Hz refresh rate display. It peaks at 2600 nits of brightness with Vision Booster for solid outdoor viewing. And in adding all of this to the outer display, Samsung kept a top-tier, nearly 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X main display, also at 120Hz and a 1080p resolution. The Z Flip has essentially gone from a delicate, bendy main screen and mini little outer screen to 2 absolute top-notch, gigantic screens with all the specs. And I know portability is the name of the game here, but these screens are another reason to consider this phone in the first place. So what does the FlexWindow show you, and what can it do? Well, the FlexWindow shows you everything now. You can type out messages, check your schedules, snap selfie pictures. That's obviously a big one that Samsung expects a lot of people to continue to utilize. And Samsung has also incorporated Gemini, Galaxy AI, and One UI features aplenty all throughout this Flex window. Gemini Live is available directly on the Flex window, so you can quickly get answers to your questions and complete different tasks and asks, all without having to flip open the phone. And Gemini can pull from different apps like reminders, maps, notes, and more, again, without having to open the full screen. The Now Bar and Now Brief are also available via the Flex window, so you'll see real-time app activities, personalized reminders, calendar events, fitness summaries, and more. And to be totally honest, Samsung has afforded this Flex window so much access and so many apps and features that there's very little reason to ever actually flip open the phone now, unless you're really doing something important. And I know the Flex window screen probably looks big now, almost to a point where it's being its own smartphone display, but it's still half the size, and I think committing to something bigger and implementing all these software and AI features is a good move because it keeps the Flex window useful and important while also still allowing you to keep your phone closed a lot of the time. This is just a really great setup now. And beyond functionality, Samsung also seems big on customization with the Flex window. Between a bunch of new wallpaper options to custom clock designs and adaptable wallpapers, you can really make this this phone look unique. The other big thing this flex window is going to be used for is selfies, of course. That's what like 99% of people were doing during the hands-on time, and it makes sense. Not only do you get such a big screen now to see yourself and your friends, but there's further camera software add-ons that make taking selfies easier and better. The Z Flip 7 has a 50 megapixel main lens and 12 megapixel ultra wide as its dual camera setup, and Samsung has of course implemented their Pro Visual Engine to further enhance those shots. But beyond the tech specs, it's also just really easy and really fun to set up and take selfies with this. You can obviously see yourself on the big flex window screen. There's quick access and hands-free auto switching between wide and normal selfies. There's a zoom slider. There's real-time filters. You can have a full-on photo shoot, whether it's for fun or a semi-professional environment, right from the flex window. And it seems like this is one of the most practical uses of such a big outer screen now. A couple other important things to mention. Samsung DeX is now supported on this phone for the first time ever. Powering all this new stuff is Samsung's own 3nm Exynos 2500 chip paired to 12 gigabytes of RAM. And you of course get to be the first with Android 15 and Samsung's One UI 8 software updates, which continues to improve on all things Galaxy AI that Samsung continues to highlight. Besides all that, I think what's most interesting with the Z Flip 7, and most important, is the battery. This phone now has a 4300 mAh battery inside, which is the largest ever on one of their foldables. Samsung claims this phone can last 31 hours on a single charge doing video playback, and I'm really interested to see just how much better that battery life might be. And while this pocket-sized powerhouse with its big new display would have probably been enough, Samsung sort of surprised us with a brief mention of another new-ish foldable, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE. Fans of the FE-S series phones know that this is a slightly more affordable option with a bit less specs, or in this case, mostly last year's specs and hardware. And it's a really interesting addition to the foldable lineup since these tended to be like top-tier, super niche, very expensive devices. But with a foldable FE, Samsung I think is trying really hard to get more of these into people's hands. So how much is the Z Flip FE? Well, it starts at $899 for the 128 gigabyte option, well under $1,000, which feels like a good threshold to break. It comes in just two colors, black or white, and it looks mainly the same as last year's Z Flip 6. You don't get the fancy new flex window, but it's still a Samsung flippable phone. And it gets a new processor too, though it's the Exynos 2400. And between the two Flip 7s here, I am really curious to see how this duo of new Samsung chips hold up. It's an interesting choice opting for those versus just continuing to utilize Snapdragon like in years past, and like what's in the Z Fold 7, which was also announced today. I do sort of wish the Z Flip 7 FE was a little more different or unique. You can buy last year's Z Fold 6 or any other foldable for cheaper already, but I guess we'll see if this FE converts more people to that foldable, flippable lifestyle. So there you go, that's the scoop with Samsung's new Galaxy Z Flip 7 and Z Flip 7 FE, I guess. What do you guys think of these new flippables? Can you get down with that new flex window? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though. Be sure to follow TechDaily on Twitter and subscribe to the TechDaily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.